Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Bern here from EWPRO. So starting with the DXY, nothing's changed. We got that 5 down. We're looking at this as a flat, and we're looking for that C up, possibly up to that 38.2 or even up to the 50 fib retracement of this move down after the 5. This is looking like it's ready to fall out over. It can stay in here for a long time and get up to that 38.2, but it's looking very choppy. But all this in here is corrective. So more than likely, we're only going to get that C up, and then we're going to fall over and break the low again. Looking at the H4, we got those 5 up, W, X, Y, X, and I'm looking at this as the end of wave Z. Now we're getting another correction in here. You know, this may turn into some sort of a running flat in here, like an A, B, C, before we get another 5 up. Possible. Because we still do have a little bit of room on that daily to get up to that 100 fib. Oh, well, the 38.2. Looking at the H1, looking at this as the B wave. We've got a little flat in here, so you can look for that little scalp, but more than likely it'd just be a little wave C in here, like an A, B, and a C, and then we get that A, B, C, then you get that A, B, C, then you get that larger A, B, C as a running or expanding flat after these 5 up. So this can turn in quite complex before it does actually fall over. But really, I'm only looking for the sell because the larger impulse is going to be this wave C down. After all this is over, we don't know what's going to happen in here, but looking at the price action, that's what I'm looking at as a possible structure that we can get. If I just put some counts on here. Right. So that'll be the H4 count. Looking for that larger correction after the 5, A, B, C. Then it may continue up in this channel or fall through this channel and go down to this 50 fib retracement like we'd like to see after the 5 up. If you just go quickly back to the H1, put a count on here. So we're looking for that A, B, C, and it can possibly turn quite nasty. We may get another one up here, then one down here, then another one up here for a flat in the middle. So we get that A, B, C. Just change that. Let's see how I'm looking at DXY. Going on to the AU. Nothing's changed on the daily. We still never got anywhere near this 100 fib. This is looking very corrective. And if we look here, we still can come down to, we got that bearish divergence. So we can come down to this like 50 fib here. And we're still in this like WX. We're still in this wave Y. This wave Y still can come down to that 161.8. Then give us the X2 and then a Z down, finishing off the correction before we get more upside. because this is looking so choppy and slow, I am looking at it as a correction. If we look at the H4, it's pretty much played out exactly how we're looking at it. We've got that WXY, looking at that as X2, hit the first target, and it may come down and hit that second target on wave Y. Wave Z, sorry. We're still within this trend line. We're still within this trend line here. So why this trend line holds, you can scalp the sells, but it's starting to get risky now because we're getting that bullish divergence on the H4. But we don't know where this wave Z will end. May end at the 123.6 on the daily, or it can even go down to this 161.8. We know that a wave Z can be longer than the wave Y, looking at a motive structure. Looking at the H1, it didn't really give a nice correction. That was a problem. Yeah, it was messy. A little flag in there. I didn't get it. But yeah, it's more scalps now until we get the end of wave Z. Then you can look for that impulse. Looking at the EU on the daily, nothing's changed. We got the bearish divergence. Looking at it, A, B, C, we're looking for that C down. Ideally, we get down to this 50 fib retrace of this move. Like I've been saying, you know, we've broken the ending point of wave 8, so this can finish at any time. H4 playing out pretty much exactly how I'm looking at it. We got that WXY. I would have liked this X2 to come up to this 100 fib, but never got there, but we did get the cross. So we're looking for that Z down, and this is the flat in here. I don't think this Z down is over. The first target's this 123.6 and the 161.8. It's very slow in that wave Z. Looking at the H1, we were looking at that bear hidden. So we got these WXY, X2 with bear hidden. So I'm looking for this to go down. Your first target's at 123.6, and then you got that second target at the 161.8. And that should hit that first target on the H4. So yeah, you really now you can only put a sell stop under here. If you get tagged, well, this will be your stop loss, and you'll be targeting your first and second target. It's more of a scalp. Looking at the GU on the daily, nothing's changed. We got that 5 up, was wave Z, bounced off that weekly 100 fib. So we can go and break this light. The problem is, I don't think this move up is over, and it'll turn into expanding. Well, I think it already is an expanding flat on weekly because we've broken above this 100 fib. But this here is looking corrective, and this top here was broken over here, so I can only look at it as an A, B, C, as a running or expanding flat before we get more upside. Again, we had that bear hidden here, and we went and broke that low, hitting the first target. We still haven't hit that second target. But if this is X2, and this may be a larger correction in here, and then we get another 5 down. A, B, C. This is looking very choppy and giving very deep corrections. If we look what we were looking at last week, we were just looking for that C up. We hit that target, that 100 fib. Problem now is this is very slow. After the A, B, C, the larger correction, we should have really got an impulse down, but this is slow. We're coming to an end. Okay. So really, there's not much you can do here, because this may not be over. This may be like a W, X, Y, X2, and then a Z, giving us a larger correction, or even look at it as a flat in here for an A, B, C. Either way you look at it, we still can get that move up here. To negate that, we need to break this low. We haven't broken that low yet. So it is quite risky. This is too choppy, you know. So more than likely we'll get another one up, unless this blow gets broken, and then it's going to be tricky, you know, because this is so choppy. We go and break this low, well, we're not getting that nice impulse. So any sells you get are going to be risky. Ideally, we get that wave W up, and then trend line break and a nice correction, and then we can all look for a nice another 5 down. And you on the daily. So again, this one's, it's given us that bear divergence with the 3 up. Now we're getting this A, B, C. This doesn't look complete. This is looking bearish in here. We got the 100 fib target and the 161.8 target, which is also the 50 fib of this move here. So we got that 50 and the 161.8 at roughly around the same area. Why this trend line here holds, you can look for sells. I think we do have bullish divergence here. Yeah, we do have that bullish divergence. So you've got to be a little bit careful, but we haven't crossed up. So we may lose that bullish divergence. Looking at the H4, we're looking at that A, B, C last week in a B wave. So we get that A, B, C. But again, the price action is telling me we've only just broken that low. So I can't rule out a larger structure, you know, as the B wave in here. And then we get an A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. You know, we may get a larger correction in here before we fall over, while this trend line here still holds. Or it can just fall over from here. It's looking bullish in here though. So because this one didn't go, it makes it hard, and then we're getting this choppy move. This is very choppy. So yeah, didn't get that nice impulse. We can look at this as like a W, X, Y, X, Z in here, and an A, B, C, A, B, C, and then we get that larger A, B, C. So we may be going up on the H1 to give us that larger, like, correction as an A, B, C. Then you get that A, B, C like I showed. You know, can turn quite complex because of the price action we're getting. I'd just stay out of it, you know, it's not clear. On the daily, on the UY, nothing's changed. We're looking for this C down before we get a large A, B, C in here to finish off that wave C, getting up to that 100 fib. On the H4, we're looking for this. Last week, we broke this trend line. I said, you know, we're looking for that A, B, C up in here before we get more downside. Looks like we still get that C up. Then when we look at the H1, it's giving us different price action. So this is our correction in here. This is looking very corrective. This is sharp, and this is looking corrective again. So it looks like we'll get an A, B, C, A, B, C before we get the larger A, B, C. So it's mainly just scalping up to here, breaking that top. If it doesn't actually have to break that top because it's a B wave. But yeah, I'd be more inclined to look for the A, B, C in here. And then you'll have to be careful of this possible A, B, C structure before you get that larger A, B, C, before you get the impulse that you don't want to miss. Looking at the Sheffy or the Swissy, this one's playing nicely. We've got that A, B, C. This bounced clean off that 100 fib, and we were looking for that to go and break the low. Once we started to see all this bullish divergence on the H4, we started to look for this buy. So we got all this bullish divergence. Nice correction, another correction for the Z up. Then we're getting this larger correction. Looking for that C up. Last week we were looking for the retracement down to this 50 fib. Didn't quite get there. If we get to the H1, we're looking for that bear hidden. And the Z down. So we got that W, X, Y, X2, Z down, giving us that bullish divergence. Now we've gone and broken that top. I think we may have bearish, well, bearish, still bearish divergence there. But I dare say we'll lose that and we'll get a little flag in here for more upside for that C up. Yeah, I'd be looking for the buys. More than likely we'll get some sort of A, B, C in here as a running or expanding flat. So if we do get this a move down here, then you can put that buy stop on. This is your stop loss, and look for that A, B, C moving to break even or taking half off, and then letting the rest run for that A, B, C on the H4. UCAD on the daily. This is interesting because we've got this A, B, C and extending wave in here I'm looking at, and I still can't rule it out. And until we break above here, we can't rule out this bear hidden. So there is definitely a chance that we just go bang and break this low. It's definitely not out of question. Looking at the H4, I was looking for this last week, this C down here, that be the end. Then we were looking for that 100 fib retrace like A, B, C. Instead it just stopped here, and that was it. I am still looking at it as a B wave. This as a B wave before we get C down, finishing off the B wave, and then a larger C up, or a wave Y. We're at a low, so this X2 bear hidden may not play out. But we got this correction in here. So we got that A, B, C, getting that C up, and we're getting all this bearish divergence. So I'll be more inclined to wait for this move to be over, get an A, B, look for that C down, and then look for more upside. More than likely it'll be a flat for another one up to finish off this wave X, and then we fall over. Looking at the H1, this was a trade I put out in the room. It's looking for this, like A had a nice correction in here, nice B wave, and we were looking for that C up to the first and second target up here. We will get bearish divergence. So look for a sell. If you get a bounce off this 100 fib, nice impulse down, it's probably too late to be jumping in it. You can at the break of that top. If you got in it, well, you got your stop loss, and you'd be targeting this 100 fib first. And yeah, if it flies through there, well, you can hold the rest. But I'll be waiting for a sell setup in here and look for the C down before we get more upside. GY on the daily, always looking for this WXY. We're looking for this wave Y can go up to this 161.8. Hasn't quite got there. This is looking very choppy in here. Like I said last week, you know, we can start to look at this as a flat in here. That's the end of wave Y. We get that X2 and then the Z up. This may be the correction in here. It's not quite large enough yet, but we can't rule out this as some sort of a expanding flat in here. Then get a Z up, like we got a running flat here, but it's looking very corrective. Looking at H4, like I said last week, you know, we can actually look at this as a flat. I said you had to be careful because this could turn into a flat, and that's looking like what it's doing. It didn't matter that we had this. I was looking for this WXY X2 with the bear hidden. We had that bear hidden here to go and break that low. Even though I was looking for a WXY XZ, and we ended up just getting a WXY and then a larger correction. So we'll be looking for another, you know, 3 down here. Might just change that now that the price action is showing that. So we'll be looking at this as the flat. I'll remove all that. I'll just go like A, B, C. Because this is a larger correction. So we can look for the target of this C wave. First targeting that 100 fib. we're at a top. We're at a top, and we may even come down further, down to this what 161.8, and we get some sort of a WXYXZ in here, down to this trend line. So yeah, it's a little bit choppy in here. So again, it is a little bit risky. We do have bear hidden here, you know, so I dare say this will go and break that low. So again, if you put a sell stop on there, if you took that sell stop for the little flat in here, you know, I'd be holding it, putting your stop loss just above here, and looking for that 100 fib. EG on the daily, nothing's changed. We were looking for the A, B, C. Instead, we got this. Go down to the H4 and see if this is over. Still looking for more downside last week to go and break this low. We ended up breaking that low now. Still looking at it as a B wave. On the H4, we got that A. All this is B. And then we're looking for that C up. Might have to change this fib. We went down a little bit further. So we're looking for that buy. We have to be careful still. Like I said last week or the last few weeks, this low here can be broken in this B wave, and this, we don't have any bullish divergence here between this low and this low. We don't have any bullish divergence, so this may give another bear hidden and give us another one down. We can't rule it out, you know. I was looking at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an ending diagonal here. It's just continued on. Really, for the buy, you want to wait, break this top, and then give us your buy set up. We haven't really had any nice buy setups on it yet, because we were looking for this top here to be broken before we buy. And we were looking for this to go and break the low. And then we got this wave up, and we said, well, we can't buy until we break that top. And we got another one down, and this is sort of looking corrective in here. Looking at the H1, we can look at it as a contracting flat for an A, B, C. It's not giving any bearish divergence. So if you do get a flag in here, you can look for the buy up to the 161.8. If I just draw that on here. It's not giving a nice setup though. Definitely want to be break even at that 100 fib, or you should even be a break even at the top of this this contracting flat, because it's a contracting flat. Like I've said for ages, you know, as soon as we get these contracting flats, they can turn into quite a few different sort of structures. You know, we're never going to know. So if you do get a little flag in here, you can look for that buy up to this 161.8. If you don't get the flag and it comes down here, or you can, and you get a impulse up and a buy set up down here, or you can look for that 100 fib of the A, B, C as your target. But then I dare say, because we have that possible bear hit, we may go and break that low again. There's no, definitely can't rule out this low getting broken again, and this B wave's not over on the H4, unfortunately. Looking at the EU on the daily, this is unusual because we got all this bearish divergence and we went up to that 123.6 fib. We can clearly see this is going to be a little flat in here. I dare say we're going to get a little flat. A, B, C as a larger correction, maybe something similar to this size before we get another one up. We're looking for that larger correction. Looking at the H4, pretty similar to GY. We've got that WXY bear hidden in next to, and we were looking for that to go and break the low, and we got that bullish divergence. Again, because this is so choppy in here, and we can look at this as a flat, like, so we get 1, 2, 3 down, breaking the low, and then we get that 1, 2, 3 up before we get that larger A, B, C. So this correction may not be over. Well, this correction here is over, but it may turn into a M with wave white and then get a larger A, B, C before we get that larger A, B, C. So only you can scalp the buys if you get a buy set up, but just be careful that it may not go and break that top. It may be just that C up, and then you get more downside. And I dare say that's what's going to happen because we're at a high and we've got that bearish divergence on the daily. So we're looking for that larger correction that could take, a few months, 6 months or more, So at this stage, we're looking for that. This is wave Z and then an A, B, C. This is broken the low. So it's just going to be an A, B, C and then more downside. Unless we get that A, B, C, you definitely want to be at break even at that 100 fib. Your second target will be that 161.8, and then you'll have to be careful because you may get that A, B, C ending the way move and then more downside. A little bit tricky. Looking at the gold, nothing's changed on this. Looking for that bear hidden to go and break the low. This one's looking nice. We're still looking for that wave Z down. This has turned into a larger correction, but it doesn't matter. We're still looking for another wave down. More than likely, this was just a WXY, and then we get the larger correction, and then we get another possibly 3 down or 5 down, or just that one impulse breaking this low. But we should go and break that low. We've got that bear hidden here. Only looking for shorts. Like I said last week, you're going to look for that buy. It's only a scalp. Now we're starting to break this trend line. Did we have bearish divergence? Yes, we did have bearish divergence. We do have the possibility of bull hidden here. It's not valid to trade, but there still is that possibility that we get one more up, giving even more bearish divergence, and then it falls over. So we can't totally rule out another one up because we do have that possible bull hidden. Ideally, we go and break that low, take out that bear hidden, possible bear hidden, get a nice correction in here, and we'll all be in that sell for that wave Z on the H4. WTI on the daily. Again, nothing's changed on the daily. We got a heap of bearish divergence. We're only looking for sells. looking at this as an A, B, C in here, and then possibly more upside. Only looking for that sell C down though. Last week we were looking for that wave C down to the 100 fib. We got bullish divergence and we've broken that low. It still may not be over. I actually took this up here and closed out down here somewhere, and I closed the wrong trade, so I'm out of it, unfortunately, or else I'd be still in it. But yeah, that's trading. So we're looking for that A, B, C down to this 100 fib. We are getting bullish divergence over here on the H1 as well. So yeah, you have to be a little bit careful looking for the sells after this low's been broken. It gets risky. But again, you know, we can, on the daily, we still have a lot down to this 100 fib. Actually, we'll take a few of these off. So we're looking down to this 100 fib. So there is still a little bit of room down. We can get a impulse here. W, X, Y, X, Z. Bitcoin on the daily. So again, we're getting a larger correction. Got this W, X, Y. And then we're getting this larger correction. Like I said last week, you know, this can turn into a flat in here. Getting A, B, C up. We were looking for that C up last week. We were looking for that buy. And then moving to break even at that 100 fib or taking half off. And if it does continue up, well, you know, you still got half your trade. But there was that still possibility that this is an A, B, C, and then we get A, B, C. Finish off that X2 on the daily, and then we get that Z up. Looking at the H4, nothing's changed. It didn't go. I was looking for it to go last week. Also said we can look at that as a flat in here, and we get that X over here, which is what it did. So we got a little flat in there. I only wanted to buy at the break of the trend line. We didn't get a break of the trend line, so you shouldn't have been in the buy yet. You still will get an opportunity to get into this buy. Just move this fib here down to here again, because we've moved down a bit further. So here, again, you know, the W, we got 3 up, 3 down. We can get 3 up, 3 down, then another 3 up for a complex correction before we get more downside, if that's what it's going to do. I'd be looking for the buys at this stage, because we're looking for that 100 fib. You know, if you get a buy set up, look for that buy. This X2 may go and break that low, but even if it does break that low, we should still get more than likely a running flat for more downside. We should still see this C up. So I'd only be really interested in the buy at this stage because of what we're getting in here. So we have bullish divergence. I'm pretty sure we have bullish divergence here. Maybe not. Yeah, we just have bullish divergence on the day, on the H1. So we can look at this. Got a trend down. we can also look at this here, because we've got this 3 down here. We can look at that A, B, C up here for a running flat. Then we get that A, B, C to finish off this X before we go. So you really want to break you really want to know that this is over and break above here. Give you a nice, you could risk taking this little flag here. It's giving you a little flag here. You could risk taking that, but just be mindful that it could be just an A, B, C, getting it to break even. And if it takes off on you, well, all good. Right? Or else you just take a little bit of profit at the 100 fib and probably get the second half taken out as the A, B, C. Selling is a little bit risky, I think. You know, this is looking very corrective for upside at this stage, you know, on the H4. But again, we may have a little flat in here to give us more downside. Definitely can't rule that out, but I'll be more interested in the buys. SPX on the daily, like I've been saying for ages, we're only looking for shorts. Got all this bearish divergence. A, B, C hasn't hit that 100 fib. It's starting to run out of steam up here. You can see on the daily, you know, and eventually I am looking for this larger A, B, C correction, possibly down to this 50 fib. Looking at the H4. So we were looking for buys last week because we were looking at this as the correction for another A, B, C, large A, B, C, and another 5 up here, like we got 5 up here. Still can go. This is still looking bullish here, right? After impulse. So, you know, it still may not be over. Looking at the H1, we have broken the trend line here with bearish divergence. So we had we got bearish divergence from over here. So we do have bearish divergence. This is looking choppy though. You know, this can be a little flat in here for an A, B, C. Actually, I'll correct myself there because I think that one broke the top, did it? I think it did just break the top here. But either way, it still can be an A, B, C in here for an A, B, C, or W, X, Y, X, Z, giving us some sort of a larger A, B, C before more upside. It's running out of steam, but it's, yeah, I don't trust it yet. We didn't get that nice impulse. You know, we didn't get that nice impulse correction breaking out of the trend line. Instead, it bounced off that trend line. A little bit tricky to trade. I'd say, you know, we're at a top. So if you get any bearish setups, you know, definitely give them a go. We don't know when this is going to fall over, but it will fall over, you know. Because if we have a look on the weekly, on the daily, sorry, we do have that bearish divergence. I'm going to go over this ASX, the Australian industry, because it's quite interesting at the moment. This move starts down here. So we got an A, B, we're looking for that C up. This is a nice structure in here, nice running flat. Doesn't get any simpler than this for an A, B, C. Of course, it's too late to be jumping into the buys, but we get price up to here. We can at least look for a large A, B, C down. We should get a nice bounce off of this for the crash. Looking on the weekly, it's just one up. So we can get larger correction in here. A weekly correction before we get up to that 100 fib. If we get that, we can look for the buy. On the daily, we're getting all this bearish divergence. So we're eventually going to get that weekly correction. This is still, we're still within this trend line. We do have all this bearish divergence. Very risky to be buying, but this is still looking a little bit bullish. To give us even more bearish divergence. Any sell setup I get up on this, I'll be looking for the sell. This here, we may just get A, B, C, and then more upside because of how large this correction is here. It's sort of like that EG. It's giving us a nice impulse down, and then it's giving us this large correction. So it's more than likely it's just an A, B, C for more upside before we get that weekly correction. But yeah, I just wanted to point this new indice out if people don't follow it. I'm from Australia, so I usually follow it. Looking at the DAX, we've got that WXYXZ. We're getting that larger correction as a B wave. We're looking for that C down last week. We're getting that C down by the look of it. So we're looking for that A, B, C in here before we get that A, B, C. Down to this 100 fib. So if you do get any more sell setups on it, you had a nice little flag here for your sell. If you get another little flag in here, you can look for another sell. Look for that 100 fib target. Looking at the FTSE, this one's a little bit harder. It's very choppy up here. I am looking at it. I'm definitely looking at this as a B wave, as this B wave. Get that A, B, looking for the sell down to the 100 fib. Because we can look at this as like a W, X, Y, X2, and then a Z up, or even if it turns into some sort of a B, C. But we need this wave down. Either way, we need this wave down. So like I've been saying for ages, really only looking for the sells. Looking for that sell. And on the H4, this is where we ran into that dilemma. Got that A, B. We were looking for that C up. We never broke the top. But like I said, we broke above the ending point of wave A, so that may be all of it. We go down from here. But it's very risky. We're still within this impulse. Even last week, we were in the same situation. There's no direction. It's not giving us any direction. Very difficult to trade. You're going to get cut to pieces. This can do. We don't know what structure it is at this stage. It's not really giving us buys or sells. So I'd be staying out of it. And looking for something a little bit easier to trade. I hope you enjoyed this weekly outlook. If you did, smash those thumbs up and share. And I'll see you out there next week.